Okay, we're getting ready to go live. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Okay, we're live. Hi, I'm Glenn, City Valley Fishing Field Team, COAF YouTube. And this round, what do I got for you? Well, we're just talking about a particular fly tying tool right here. It's the whip finish tool. I showed previously how you would use one of these, as well as if you went and did one manually right here with two fingers. And that said, what I want to show you is how you can make one yourself using some simple tools as well as minimal material. And let me show you kind of the dilemma that a lot of times you may have when you're using a whip finish tool that you've purchased. Okay, it comes with various sizes, I think small, medium, large, and I typically use, I think this is a small, but what will happen is when you're getting ready to use the tool, you'll get ready to tie off and whip finish a particular fly. In this case, this is a foam spider where you're going to be tying off about mid body or right behind the eye. And so what happens is a lot of times you'll have to contend with these rubber legs getting in the way and kind of having to work your whip finish around the legs. And it even gets worse when it comes to hackle. And you can see how difficult that was. I mean, that was painful already. Woo. Anyhow, what I want to do is show you how to make one with a wider gap that hopefully you'll find, well, a little bit more forgiving. Okay, and this is one that I made. We're gonna make a larger size one than this, but the components are some 3/32 inch piano wire. Let's see, grab it down here. Let's see, 3/32 inch piano wire right there. Okay, come in 5502 from K&S, but then main thing to look at is the size. So 3/32. Oh wait, this is 0.047 music wire. I'm getting them mixed up. Okay, it's the brass tubing that's 3/32 right here. Okay, 3/32 inch brass tube. Okay, and the brass tube is to allow you to rotate the whip finish tool, the wire portion, and all it is just that brass tube and some 2 copper beads that I've used. Okay, and the other thing is, and I've showed this previously, is you want to have a template that you'll be bending your piano wire. So this is a template I use, and you can draw it or you can make one like I did out of some heavier wire so that you have that ready. And right here I'm just showing that this is 1 3/4 inch, this length right here. Okay, and I'll just hold it here if you want to take a little snapshot and get an idea of the bend. Okay, all right, and then the other piece then is getting that 0.047 piano wire, okay, and bending it to that shape. So I like having the template nearby, and I'll start shaping it that way. From a tool standpoint, pretty much just have some pliers and some diagonal cutters just to cut things afterwards. I do keep a mill file handy so I can kind of smooth out the rough edges that will result in some cases. But let's go ahead and make one, and we're just going to do this on the fly here. So first piece is we want to get this bend here started. So I'll just grab it here on the end and start that bend. Okay. All right, let me shift it over to the other camera so you can get an idea of the end result of that bend. Okay. Let's see. Well, I think the camera locked up. Let me see if I can get it back again. Okay, come on, camera. Okay. Now, let's do that. Okay. Well, bear with me. Okay, well, we're just going to go to this camera then. And, all right. Okay, so I've got that bend started. And there is the comparison, okay? So the next thing is we'll start the next bend. And I want to make this one a little bit bigger or longer so that I have a wider gap, because the key to this is you want this wider gap to allow you to go over the hackle or the rubber legs. Plus, you do want this angle, because when you actually start using it, you'll see as I work through it how the line will wrap around it as it goes on to the fly. So let's go ahead and get this one started. So there's my template. Just kind of poked it here, and I'm going to grab my pliers and bend it like so. All right, and what's nice about this is it's very forgiving. Okay, so I still need to have an angle this one some more. Okay, so I've got that angled, and it's actually quicker to do than to explain. Right? And like I was saying, I like having that template handy, and I like making it out of a heavier wire. Okay, so this one's almost there. It's just I need to get this one a little bit more of an angle. So I'm just going to do this by hand now. Okay. Okay. All right, and let's go grab this piece now. Okay, very close. All right, so the next thing is I want this one to be longer, just because I already have one that's small, and so I'm going to make the gap actually basically, oh, I'd say almost 3 inches right here. All right, and so all you're going to do is grab your pliers and bend so that this one and this gets pulled up in parallel, and you have that steep angle. So I'm going to go ahead and bend up and get it parallel. Okay, that's fairly parallel. Okay, here. Right, so I'm making it just slightly bigger, working off of the template. And here I'm gonna now bend it to start that little twisty bend. Okay. Okay. So now it's looking like this. Okay. Very close here. And here, let me check the chat in case anyone had any questions. One man show here, so yeah, gotta bear with me. Okay, so all right, so now you can see how I've got this and this sort of in the right direction. Now I just need to make this bend here and all this little squiggly deal. So just grab it here. I just need to eye it. Okay. I'm gonna bend it down. Okay, bear with me here. I just gotta grab it. Okay, so I've got the bend started. Now I gotta get it to bend the other way. And this is the portion that's going to hold on to the thread as you tighten it. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So there, I'm starting to get that bend. Okay. And I'll squeeze it just because I want a little tighter bend. A little bit more narrow right here. Okay. And at this point, I'm almost done. All right. I just need to take this piece and straighten it. And I will have a custom whip finish tool that can handle larger size flies right here, right there. Okay. And I'll be ready to go. So at this point, I could actually just use it as is right here and go ahead and start tying a fly with it. But for this purpose, I want to show you. Let me see if I can get this other camera up and running again here real quick. I thought it was working. Okay. Okay. No. Disconnect it. Okay. All right. Deactivate. Activate. Activate wonder powers. Let's see. Did it take? No. Oh man. Okay, well, we need to be able to do this on the fly anyway, so there we go. All right, so there it is. And what I did was I took a piece of the brass tube and went ahead and cut that, and you can see how the 0.047 wire will fit into that brass tube. Okay, just like so. Okay. Before I do that, I'm going to put a copper bead and see if I can get it on there. Bear with me. Okay. Put the copper bead on. Okay. And then I'll close it out with the copper bead. So 2 copper beads. Almost got it. And once you have that second copper bead on, you'll do a bend to the end so that it'll secure it in place. So right there's that second copper bead, and I'm just going to take my pliers here and kind of bend it just like so, so it holds it. And now I have a little whip finish tool that spins, all right, rotates, so I can finish off a fly and work a bigger one, I guess. So much bigger. Let me compare it to the commercial variety. So let's see the gap between the two. Okay, and that will make the difference when it comes to tying a particular fly. But I want to show you what I mean and how helpful it is. But for some reason, I can't seem to get my camera working like it should. All right, let me see. Bear with me here as I fix it real quick. And no. Let's see. Turn it off here. I'm just going to go and delete the camera and bring it back on real quick. And I think that should be able to get there. And if you do have any questions about how I did this, let me know. I'm monitoring the chat to see if anything pops up. And let's see. And hopefully I should be able to answer some of your questions here. Let's see, USB video, configure, okay. Oh, wow. I think you guys can see that now. It's kind of big. All right, bear with me as I play with OBS here to get everything in place. Okay. All right. All right, almost got it. And the main reason why I'm focusing a lot on getting you this view is I think it's going to be helpful in letting you understand the difference between using the small whip finish tool versus the one that I just made. Okay, let me just raise the camera up a little bit. Okay, all right, and go and focus a little bit for you so you can see what I'm talking about. Okay, all right, and there we go. All right, so here we are, and let me just focus a little bit. This is like a one-man show here. Okay, so here is the commercial whip finish tool. Here's the one that I just made. The commercial one, it's small. I go to tie, and there it is. I gotta really watch for these rubber legs getting in the way. So a lot of times I'll be good to go to work it through, but other times I may have a bad day, and next thing I know, I'm just having a hard time hooking, or correction, putting that whip finish on there, and it's really just throwing me a curve. But look at the difference. Look at this. So much bigger. And now, because I have this wider gap, I can go around everything, and look at this. I don't have to worry about those rubber legs anymore. I can whip finish all day. I can do like 2 or 3 and kind of work my way through here and not worry about what I was with that smaller size whip finish tool. Okay, bear with me. All right, and you probably want to kind of put a little, like, take your file and smooth it out a little bit, but see how I'm able to work between those legs right there. So pretty cool, isn't it? All right, so let me shift back now and just see if I can. You guys have any questions? Nope, no questions. Okay. All right, so here is a heavier gauge wire. This is the one I use as a template. So if I'm going to make a new one or adjust smaller, larger, I have this one handy. Okay, and I did a little picture or freeze frame deal on it earlier so that you can get a good idea as to what's out there on how to make one. Here is the one that we just made. Okay, this is the one I bought right there. It's the one I just made, and this is one that I made before this previously. Okay, and this is the one we just made. So I just made one that's larger. So at this point, I purchased one small. I would say this is a medium now, and the one we just made, this is the large. Okay, and again, just to recap the material I used, tool-wise, pliers, the 0.047 piano wire, music wire. This one's from K&S Precision Metals. I think I've got a link in it in the video. And guess what? I didn't have to cut anything. I just used the whole entire length, which I believe this is, I think this is 12 inches. Yeah, this is a foot long. So I used a whole one piece, 12-inch, to build that large size whip finish tool. And then I used the 3/32 brass tube for that handle, and then some copper beads. The brass tube comes in a pack of, I believe, 4. Oh no, 3. No, 4 for the brass tube, 3 for the music wire / piano wire. And you can see I cut off a piece of it here. And this cut's fairly easy. I just used an X-Acto saw and cut it off. And then beforehand, I went ahead and kind of smoothed out the edges. Okay. All right. And you don't have to put the brass tube. I've used these before without the rotating ability. I just would hold, let me go ahead and get the template. I would just hold this loosely in my hand and just let it spin. Okay. So you don't have to do that. But you can see it's well, it's a lot easier. Right? Hey, a lot easier. All right, and this one spins really good. All right, and this is the one that I bought, and guess what? It's got a little owie on it right here. I dented it somehow. Still works. It still spins. Okay. All right. Other things I've had asked in the past is what is it that I'm using for the fly tying vise? Okay, so this is the Peak fly tying vise. Looks like it locked up again, but here, I'll move it back over here. Okay. All right, there it is. Peak fly tying vise. This is the last one I bought. I've used it for, well, 15 years. All right, or so. Yeah, been happy with it. Heavy base. Great for or it's real sturdy, so you don't have to worry about it tipping over, and you don't have to lock it onto your desk or whatnot. But they do make one that does have that clamp, so that you can clamp it to a table and whatnot. It does have that rotary capability that I like. And then, you know, worst case scenario, if you don't have one of these whip finish tools, you can always use the 2-finger technique again. And let's see, I wonder, let me see if this is still working again, if it locked up on me. Yeah, it did. Okay. I showed in a previous video about how to do the whip finish tool without, or the whip finish without the tool. Since we got time, and hey, might as well show you. Let me just drop the camera down here. Okay. Okay. And let's see, get that out of the way. This is the whip finish with just using your 2 fingers. Okay, you'll grab the line like so. You'll, again, like the whip finish tool, just go ahead and twist it over and make that same shape that you normally would with a whip finish. And then all you do is just go in and out, flip it over, twist. There. This is the motion that you're using to do this manually. All right, the old school technique. All right, 2 fingers, wrap, and then start spinning, just like this. Okay, that's the motion. All right, and as long as you start from front to back, or from back to front, and overlap your line or your thread, you won't have any problem with that whip finish coming loose. Okay. All right, so I think that is all for now, unless anyone has any questions. All right. Okay, and let me go ahead and check the chat just in case. I don't want to miss any questions that may pop up that you may have. And I do have a number of other videos that I've posted. I do plan on doing some fly tying demos, and mainly to show how to tie some of these simple but effective flies. And you'll definitely be using a whip finish tool to finish those your fishing fly. Okay, well, I think all for now. Unless anyone has any questions, I'll go ahead and end the stream. All right, now hopefully this was helpful. Oh, let me go ahead and show you that template again so that you can make one. Okay, and this one, it's a heavier gauge wire. This is the one that comes from those little construction flag tools, you know, that show underground wire and whatnot. I I took one of those and made my template with it. Okay, and let me go ahead and put it right here so you can get another snapshot of it. Main thing is you want that shape, and once you have the shape, it is forgiving in that you can adjust on the fly to whatever your needs are. Okay, so let me go ahead and bring it up close so you can get a good snapshot of it. Okay, and it doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to work. And here is the commercial one that's, well, perfect. And then here is yours truly's where it works right here, and that's the one we just made right here. And you can see it didn't take much at all, and you can see it does work as I showed in the little foam spider that I was demoing. All right, all for now. Next time we'll catch y'all. Good luck and good fishing.